Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there, and so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Thanks for coming on and chatting to us
No
about
worries.
your new album
Pleasure.
that's coming out.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
out, actually.
oh, it's
It is
out.
out.
Sorry, but I was
Yeah.
yes. We were originally meant to chat a few days ago, and it got things got yeah. So it's Stereo Crush. It's out now, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And how's it going since it's been released?
Good. It's number one, actually number one in Switzerland now.
Yeah.
And I think we got number 11 in Germany and number seven or something in Austria, I think. So no, it's doing
Wow.
great. Well, I mean, it's been 5 years since we released an album, so
Yeah.
there's probably quite a bit of interest, just make yourself scarce for a while, and
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you are the biggest selling act in Switzerland, though, aren't you? I mean, you are
yeah,
it's 3 million albums, 16 number one albums. I mean, that's
yeah,
17. Yeah, 16. That's amazing. I don't think there's you could come across a band as prolific as that.
yeah. It's crazy, actually.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, of course there was quite a bit, quite a bit of pressure when I first joined, which is what 14 years ago, and
Oh,
that we keep the kind of streak going. So I was always like, shit, it's a disaster if we don't have a number one in Switzerland, at least. But it's yeah, no. Luckily, it's just been yeah, we've managed to keep things going in a great way, and I mean, entirely due to just the fans. The band has a really really good fan base and very loyal one that's stuck around with the band for really since, I mean, we're talking since the '90s. So it's yeah, they're really, it's a great kind of Gotthard family thing. So it's
yeah, wonderful. I think it's because you make good rock and roll, though, Nick. You know, at the end of the day, it's just good hard rock
oh,
music.
thank you.
You know, like it's just great music to it gets you going. It's pumping music, which is not what I mean. No disrespect to the Swits, but I've been to Switzerland a few times, and it always seems quite laid back and relaxing.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, there's a few other rock bands too. Actually, there's
Mm,
a few things that come out of Switzerland, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's yeah. I think it's probably because you don't overcomplicate it though. You know, you make good productive music. It's well produced, beautifully made, good rock and roll, but you don't overcomplicate.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, depends who. I mean, with the songwriting process, we kind of, because it's three of us that are the main
mm.
songwriters, and Leo, Freddie, and I, and I tend to complicate things a bit, uh, which Leo will then kind of bring it back into the center and simplify a little bit more, and so I think that's one of the things that I learned in this band, with songwriting, is to kind of simplify things a bit, is to, and there's, when you're doing big shows as well, if it's too complicated, it won't come across that well live, as well. So
No.
it makes a very big difference, and so I learned a lot with songwriting, being in this band actually, and yeah, but it's interesting that you point that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm by no means am I saying it's simple in that
No, no,
respect.
no, 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 no,
But I feel that
no.
it's
No.
definitely, it's like at its core, it's like AC/DC, it's like Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin. You know, at its core, it's just good rock and roll.
yeah.
And I think that it's the world needs more of it, Nick. To be fair, it needs
The
more of
world
it.
always needs more rock and roll.
Always needs more rock and roll.
Always.
But but it just a place, and I don't want to, like it's. I think it's great driving music.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good putting it on and doing stuff kind of music. You know, like it gets you going.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, and I can't believe this, but since 16 albums that I mean, sorry, 14 albums, you still um have kept that root. that core of the music is there.
Yeah, it moves around a bit as well.
Mm.
It's quite varied as well. Um, certain albums we've even gone into, orchestral stuff and
Oh yes.
from simple acoustic ballads to kind of, there's usually quite a bit of
Mm.
variety we try to put in there. But the band's always done that, so it's always yeah, no,
And
it's
you've enjoyed Stereo Crush. You saw producing it and making it.
yeah. Well, one. I mean, we didn't have any pressures to kind of make an album. We'd finished. We the previous album was with Sony Music, and I think we did two albums with them, and then so that contract was over, and so we were kind of free and open, and we didn't have any pressures. No one was kind of pushing us to make a new album, and plus because of COVID as well, we lost a couple of years, and
Mm.
so we this band ordinarily would put we'd have one album would come out and then a touring album year, touring year, album year, touring year,
Oh
and we
yes.
and this the band did that since the 90s. So it was the first kind of break, with the whole COVID thing was the kind of broke that rhythm, and so we had a lot of shows that we needed to play. All the shows that had been cancelled for during COVID, we had to obviously do them, and then all the new stuff that came in, and so we had quite a lot of work to get through, and because we didn't have any kind of pressures from record companies or anything, we just we didn't really feel like making an album, I guess, and we really waited until the moment that we felt like doing it, that we were sort of you get that itch, and you
Yeah.
start. I mean, we started already back in I think it was kind of mid 2023 or something. We started writing a bunch of songs and just here and there, and then after a while, we sort of had enough songs that we thought, hey, you know what, it's sounding good. Let's really do it. And then so last year we spent kind of really getting into it and putting it together. But we had way more. I think we had something like 21 songs or something,
Wow.
22 songs or something, and then we narrowed it down. And we recorded most of them. Actually, most of them are fully recorded as well. And we just picked. I think we recorded something like 17 or 18 tracks, and then we just kept 12 that we thought really fit together and would work well on this album. We didn't. There was always an idea to have just a kind of not a super, not a 70-minute album.
Yes.
Let's keep it kind of,
I'm with
yeah,
that. I'm with that. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love all those really long albums if you've got time for it. But a lot. I
yeah.
mean, I think we've in the age of CDs, when particularly where you could put as much on it as you wanted,
Mm,
you sort of lost that. I like that one side, other side. Spend some time with it, but come back and enjoy it again later on, and
yeah.
and and, and listen and hear it. I mean, I've listened to your album about 3 or 4 times now, and every
Mhm.
time I've listened to it, I hear something different.
Yeah. And it
And
gets confusing when there's too much, I think, as well. Like, it was just, way too much. It's, yeah.
well, that's right. And if you're going to play it live, particularly, I mean, you're relentlessly touring. You'd want to be able to tour the new album comfortably and not, and give something of everything from the album to the audience, I'd imagine.
And it's difficult. That's another issue that we have. I mean, there's as you said, there's a lot of albums
Mm.
behind there, and there are a few, from the old days. There's a few classic. I mean, a lot of classics that we have to play. So there's not really a lot of space to put new stuff in on. When we're trying to put a set together, it's like, wow, how the hell are we gonna put new? Every new album, it's like, oh god. So it gets harder and harder every time.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine because I wouldn't want to be doing it. I want to sit there and go, right, okay, now
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're playing Germany. What? Where? Like,
Yeah, it gets, and then everybody in the band has their own idea as well. So
of course, of course. And I mean, and when you play your home country, do you find that has a different? You have a different sets when you play
no,
there?
no, no. We pretty much we it generally works in the same. I mean, it's mostly Central Europe will be the same, and what changes is if we have short sets, if we have depending on what festival we're doing,
Ah,
and then we've got to kind of really select the best stuff, and then we might go, okay, well, this song is works better in Switzerland, this one will work better in this country, or we'll know that. But that's, I mean, we're talking detail stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's the fun bit of it though. I think that would be the interesting bit for me. I'd love to be a fly on the wall sometimes with some of the bands like yours, with such a
Yeah,
large catalog.
it gets a bit. I mean, festival when we're headlining a festival, you can't usually you got an hour and a half, so
Mm.
already there it starts to get okay. That's kind of all right. We can make that work. That's fine. But certain things, like we I think when we were lucky enough to be able to open for the Stones, um,
Oh,
not that long ago in Prague,
wow,
and that was like, yeah, that was 80,000 people. It was incredible.
wow.
But of course, then the set. I think the set we had to do like a 45-minute set. I think I hadn't done a 45-minute set since since I was playing pubs and stuff. So and then it gets really difficult to narrow it down to just kind of right. Okay, what's the
The
and then and
nitty-gritty.
and then you're going to get a lot of arguments from band members. No, this one, no, that one, no, that's
And again, you've got to enjoy playing it. I mean, with the kind of catalog that you have and the time you've been with the band, you've got to enjoy playing that stuff. You can't, it's
yeah, yeah,
otherwise you're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
get it comes across. Otherwise, you need to be able to have
Yeah,
that bit of
absolutely.
energy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Which, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
And back to the album, I was just thinking that who the production on it, where was it recorded?
So Leo has a studio in his house,
Mm.
and almost every band since almost every album since the beginning has been made there. I mean, I think a few of the first ones were made, I think, in America, but after most of the albums were always made there, and ever since I've been in the band, all the albums have been recorded there. And this one was actually recorded and mixed there. So he has a nice old SSL desk in there, and
Ooh.
a lot of nice outboard gear and stuff. And so we yeah, recording always happens there, but usually it gets mixed somewhere else. But this time we just did everything there, and it was great because as you're recording, you kind of building the sounds up, and you kind of have the sound already there. It's I mean, half of your mixing is done already, and we love the way it sounded. So that's kind of a bit of an issue sometimes when which I always found actually. You hear a certain thing, we're tracking, we've got a certain sound, and then it goes to another studio to get mixed, and it comes back and it sounds completely different to what we were listening to
Oh, yeah,
initially, right?
yeah.
Which sometimes it's better. That
Mm.
doesn't mean it's worse, but but this time at least it was pretty much, it was what we were hearing. We were getting exactly what we were hearing, and that is a great way to do it. We're actually quite really happy with the sound, actually.
Yeah, that's a great. And the reason I was saying that is because listening to your catalog, you go back. There's a lot to listen to.
Mm.
It has that the production's always of a very high quality, and it always
Which
has that feel that. And so it's nice to know that it's all done in the one place, and it gives that constant continuity to the
Yeah, yeah,
sound.
yeah, and we try and keep it. I mean, we're certain song. If we really go with what feels the best as well. I mean, certain songs. Uh, we would even keep the vocal takes. We'd even keep the demo vocal takes because
Brilliant.
they just had a thing, and especially with some of the ballads. Because I have a certain thing that when you're just learning the song and you're just putting it together, and there's a certain vibe, and so we try and keep it as organic as possible, and even tracking the drums. I mean, when we're tracking the drums, the whole band's in there playing. I mean, I'm singing everything, like we've got the full thing going as if we are playing the song live, of course, focusing on the drums and tracking the drums, but we're
Mm.
still in there to sort of get that energy. So, um,
I,
and then of course, then we'll redo bits and whatever. But yeah, we try and keep. It's got to work. It's got to work as a live track.
well, I say, I mean, my favorite music ever when it's always when you read about how people make it, it's when they're recorded together. The Beatles recorded together. There's a
Mm.
reason why you do that. There is an energy that you feed off, and the nuances. If you're all in different parts of the world and different, It
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
People make
yeah.
great music. Don't get me wrong, but
No,
there
you
is
can you
something
can just
about that
yeah, yeah,
sort of feel of a real band playing live. You can hear it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Mm. Yeah, wonderful. Look, I mean, I think it's going to be. I mean, obviously, hopefully, that you get to Australia someday. There's a long way to come. I know you know that.
Yeah, that still hasn't happened in the last 14 years I've been in the band.
Just want to
But
go
yeah,
up.
that'd be nice. I actually and I haven't been back to Australia for oh god, I think something like I came like I think 8 years ago or something last time.
Mate,
Just popped in for a couple of weeks and yeah, it's just for a holiday and visiting friends and family and stuff. But
it's a long way
so
to
it's been
go.
yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
yeah,
it
I don't
was
get that.
there's
Yeah.
just never enough time. It's trying to find. What's difficult is actually finding like you know say 4 weeks in a row where there's no work to do. I mean, there's always days here and there and a couple of days
Mm.
and blah blah blah. But to find a big chunk where because coming from Europe when you come to Australia you kind of you can't just do it on a weekend.
No, yeah.
You, you
Package
need the
tours.
time. I
Yeah,
mean you need a minimum 3 4 weeks. I mean it's
yeah. It's true. I mean, I go back to the UK when I can. I go back in spots of like 10 years. Like I don't go every year. It's
yeah.
just too much to do. And because you are an incredibly successful band, and so being that successful means you're very busy. And
Oh,
so
there's
I
just always
understand
stuff to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
always. Yeah.
There's yeah, yeah.
Is this the sin of being successful, Nick? It's a sin. It's it's that downside to it, which is
But
unfortunate.
I think it's like actually, but I think it's like any business. When you're running your own business, I mean, and I think it doesn't matter what field. When you're running your own business, it's just all that's 24/7.
That is
That's what it
true.
is. That's what it is. So
That's very true. But
yeah,
it doesn't come across in the music, my mate. It's a brilliant album.
thank you.
One of your best so for a long time. I'm
Oh,
really looking
cool.
forward to see how it rocks in the charts. I know that obviously straight in number one in Switzerland. That's good. That's how it
That's
should
good.
be.
Yeah,
You can
that's
rest.
like yeah, that's an important one. No, no, that is
Yeah,
that is the
that's
Swiss one. That's a really important one.
it was one of those stats that I completely did not know. And when I read that stat, it blew my mind. I was like, what? Like, this is like the
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
numbers you
yeah.
don't hear. That should be all over the place telling people that. That's an amazing achievement.
I think it's well. This is the 14th studio album, so the all studio albums were number ones, but then there's been also like best ofs and blah blah blah, and so
Mm,
there's live albums and a few different things. So that's why also the number goes a bit higher and
yeah.
as well on that. Yeah, I think it's 17. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure.
I'd hate to try and tot up all the singles then because that'd be being,
Yeah, yeah,
imagine
yeah.
collecting all your stuff. You would have a separate room.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, no, there's lots of yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous, man, fabulous. I love that because then people can, I mean, they can come into Stereo Crush, they can enjoy that album, and then they can go back and there's so much to dive into, which is
Yeah,
always wonderful for first time or new listeners to the band.
yeah. So well, there's a lot to discover there. Yeah, for
Mm.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's a great thing for us, for people that are just getting in, jump in and go,
yeah.
wow, look how much we can enjoy. This is going to take us ages to get through this. This is great.
Oh, ages. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Which is nice because you don't always, sometimes you find bands, you go, this is brilliant, and it's the only album. And you
yeah.
go, oh, okay, great, but I've got to wait for the next one.
Mm, 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 mm. No, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks for
And
having me.
no, look, it's a
Pleasure.
pleasure. It's a pleasure. The album's a cracker. I'm sure that you're going to tour relentlessly with it. And
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're starting. We've got the rehearsals will start, I think, in a couple of weeks, and yeah, putting a show together and everything, and yeah.
nice.
So
And I've seen your stuff
no.
on YouTube on video, and you do a great. It's a great live show. So
Yeah,
it's
cool. Thanks.
it's a fantastic live show. It's what you want from a live rock and roll show, right? It's not you're not standing there and just crooning. There's a lot of energy going on in that band. So
Yeah, yeah. We try and keep the audience singing.
that's the way. You want
try
to?
and pick a lot of songs that people already know, you know. So
Yeah,
let them sing, let them sing.
I'm sure if I walk away from one of your gigs without a sore throat, I haven't gone to the right. I haven't done
Yeah,
enough.
I get that a lot actually. A lot of people tell me that. Yeah, yes.
That's the way. That's the way, man. Well, thanks for chatting. Hope the rest of your
Cool.
day is good.
Pleasure.
And
Great to be talking to Australia.
yeah, I know
Actually,
it's good, isn't it? It's so
right.
nice.
Yeah. Fantastic.
All right. Take it
All
easy, my
right.
friend.
Thanks, man.
Bye, man.